Commitment does not mean sticking to something when you have no choice. It means sticking in spite of choices. Without the above ingredients, no one would make a serious, long-lasting commitment. What makes a commitment valuable? It brings predictability, security, personal growth, strong relationship between individuals, lasting personal and professional relationships. Even gangsters and crooks are looking for committed supporters. Commitment creates a patch of order in a vast tangled jungle, security in an insecure world. Keeping commitments is worth the effort. Commitment means surrendering your personal wants for another person's needs. Keep in mind that needs are stronger than wants. Commitments act as glue that bonds relationships. Commitment implies sacrifice when required. For example, commitment to friendship implies maintaining confidentiality. Commitment to customer implies giving good service. Commitment to marriage implies fidelity. Commitment to decency implies staying away from vulgarity. Commitment to patriotism implies sacrifice. Commitment to job implies integrity. Commitment to community implies responsibility. Commitment is a sign of maturity. Commitment means not quitting at the first option or sign of problems. Individuals with strong commitments build strong communities. So relationships are based on commitment, not just on closeness and intimacy. A person can be intimate and close, yet not be committed. Society's values have changed so drastically over the last several decades that it is even considered good to have uncommitted relationships. Many people confuse commitment with confinement. They are not willing to make commitments because they feel they are not ready for them. In the meantime, sometimes for years, they use anything and everything for others. Their pretext is we are still checking out each other before we commit. Why are they checking out that they haven't already checked out in a few months or few years? In my opinion, they are selfish parasites who are trying to get as much as possible while the doing is good. They are only takers who are liable to society. Relationships don't last because of passion and love and because of commitment and empathy. A commitment implies putting the other person's needs ahead of one's own. Sometimes good people with the best intentions are faced with conflicting commitments. For example, a policeman is committed to caring for his wife who is on her deathbed. He is by her side when he gets the call to handle an emergency situation where 10 lives are at stake. What does he do? A surgeon is looking forward to his daughter's graduation. He has promised to attend this once-in-a-lifetime event. 20 minutes before the start of the ceremony, he gets an emergency call to operate on an accident victim to save his life. What choice does he have? Choosing one does not mean lack of commitment to the other. The process of choosing between two commitments involves priorities, responsibility, and duty. Value-based priorities help us to choose one commitment over the other without a shadow of guilt. Surgeon who most likely would prefer to attend his daughter's graduation, but it doesn't matter what his what his preferences are or what he feels like doing. Commitment involves the 11 elements we talked about before, whether we feel like it or not. Keeping commitment shows strength of character. It takes subordinating our desires to other person's needs but not to his whims and fancies. Needs are essential, whereas desires are infinite. And in case of conflict of needs, one has to prioritize responsibilities and duties. In a relationship such as a marriage, two people are committed to one another. Suppose one develops cancer after a year. Should one feel cheated, deprived, resentful, blame the other person for ruining his or her life? That is not commitment, that is selfishness. The most painful part of commitment is accepting a breach of trust when it happens. The commitment goes on. If the breach results from an error of omission, breach of omission can be handled with compassion and forgiveness. However, it needs evaluation. If it is a result of a breach of commission, the response to a breach of commission is, you cheat me once, shame on you. You cheat me twice, shame on me. Commitments can rarely be kept without forgiveness. In some relationships, regardless of whether the breach of trust is due to omission or commission, the answer is forgiveness. For example, a child may betray his parents' trust by lying or cheating, but if the parents are to keep their commitment to the child, they must forgive him, give him direction, and teach him the consequence of lying. When people betray trust just because there is for forgiveness that amounts to crookedness. Can forgiveness be treated as a blank check to a limitless account? Maybe not. What is our greatest commitment? What if we inadvertently made a commitment that is wrong or unethical and goes against our value system and conscience? Our greatest commitment is to reevaluate whether or not to go forward with it. Commitment to values. Loyalties cannot be bought, they can only be earned. And to whom do we owe loyalties? Is it to individuals or organizations? The answer is none of them. We owe loyalties to values. Where the value system is conflicting, people cannot live in the same home or work in the same organization. When a person makes a commitment of loyalty to either an individual or an organization, what is he really saying? He is saying, I stand by you because I believe in what you believe in. What if the person I am committed to becomes a drug dealer or a spy for an enemy country? Do I continue any support because I committed earlier? Absolutely not. I am not committed to support unethical or illegal behavior. Commitments are kept. Commitments not kept lead to broken homes, unfulfilled life, abandoned children, loss of business, poor relationships, isolation, high stress levels, depression, guilt. Make a commitment and stay committed.